You guys all. Oh, meeting being recorded. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining us. Our team really appreciates it, and we are going to be going over today the topic whether a team is right for you, and just giving a little bit of insight and experience on our end, how our team operates versus a solo agent route. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. And before we get started, just wanted to introduce our growing team. So my name is Kayla Pratt. I'm the Director of Client and Agent Relations, as well as Realtor. I've been with the team for about 2.5 to 3 years now, and I've really enjoyed it. I actually started out in an admin support slash TC role, and throughout my time have transitioned into a more people-oriented role, doing sales, recruiting, still some operations. So I really enjoyed it, and we're glad that you guys are here today. Clay Bernie, he's our team leader and broker. He's actually on vacation today, so he won't be joining us, but he's definitely a priority on the team, that's for sure. And then we have Stephanie up next.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I am the Director of Operations for the team. I've been working on the team for about 6.5 years now. While I am a licensed agent, my role has always been and will always be in operations. Sales is just not for me. And so a lot of what I do is creating and managing systems for the team, handling transaction coordination and listing management, and that sort of thing, and just generally being the answer person for everybody.
She knows everything about everything. It's pretty amazing. Stephanie, are Leslie and Nathan on, or are they still out on appointments?
It looks like they are both on appointments for right now. They may try to join us later if they free up.
So yeah, Leslie, she's our lead buyer's agent. She's amazing. Nathan too. He's one of the newer agents on our team and really awesome as well. But they're out in the field meeting with clients at the moment. So day in the life of an agent. John, up next.
Hi, my name is John Bleeker. I have been an agent for about 3 months now. I've been on the team the entire time. I have been trying to get myself out in the field as much as possible, like Leslie and Nathan, and I'm sure everybody to come after me is going to say something similar.
Nice.
Welcome to you all.
Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Matthew Rich. I'm one of the newer buyer's agents as well. I've been here for about 1.5 months. Things pick up quickly on this team. It's pretty awesome.
Hi everybody, I'm Bailey. I'm the marketing and content manager for the team. I just joined recently and I've loved every second of it. And I'm also currently a student at the University of Texas.
Awesome.
Hey everyone, my name is Ryan King. I've only been part of the team for about 3 weeks now, but I have to say that before that, I was just starting out as an independent agent with another brokerage and was really just, transitioning from like a successful career in entertainment to do real estate. I needed, I'm a go-getter. I want to succeed, but I really didn't feel like I had a path to follow. It's like there's so much information and it's so competitive. And as a single agent, I was kind of just lost. So swimming in this like ocean of like, yeah, I can see the possibility, but like I needed a better structured plan to get there. I joined the team 3 weeks ago and it's been an incredible experience. I have just really appreciated all the support, all the direction, and all the, I'll say like really well-founded structure. The guys that have started the team and have worked within it for a long time, they have access to people who have been very successful in building teams. And they're working off a plan that is like proven in the past to be capable of producing a lot of success. And I feel very confident in the role that I've been given and my ability to execute it. So that's my story. I'll probably answer any questions later as well.
Awesome. Thanks.
And I'm Julia. I'm a recent join as well. I had never been with a different brokerage. I've only been with the Clay team, Clay Burney team. And honestly, it's been an amazing experience. It's a lot of structure. It is a lot of goal setting and, people following up with you. I feel like it's a really great and supportive team, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Hey, awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. And that is a little bit about our team. So we'll go ahead and get started. And just to share with you, we'll have a Q&A session after the presentation where you can ask any and all questions. However, if you have any questions like mid PowerPoint that you'd like to touch on, please throw those into the chat box, and then Stephanie will kind of stop me and I will get those questions answered for you. Other than that, we'll go ahead and get started. And prior to doing so, we also wanted to introduce some of our key partners. So many of you guys may know in real estate, your partners are extremely important, whether it's title, lenders, home warranty, home inspectors. All of these are really important throughout the entirety of the transaction. So Austin Title is our go-to title company. And then in terms of home warranty, we go with Miriam Hinson with Home Warranty of America. Is she on the call today, Stephanie?
She is wrapping up a warranty service call right now, and she will be on a little bit later once that finishes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she'll be a great resource and probably share a little bit about the home warranty portion of the transaction a little bit later when she has the opportunity to join. So again, our goal ultimately for today is help you guys understand the difference between joining a real estate team versus becoming a solo agent. You have those two paths in front of you when you become licensed. And so we just want to share some of that insight and how our team operates as well. So some of the advantages and benefits to joining a team that we'll go over in more depth: leverage, people, systems, tools, leads. We have the training, support, encouragement, accountability, the goal setting, as Julia mentioned as well. And ultimately, being able to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, professionals, and with integrity. And being on a team also gives you the ability to focus on your strengths and what you really love to do. As Stephanie mentioned before, she said, sales is not for me. That is not my thing. And that's great. In real estate, there's an avenue for everyone, every personality type, every talent and skill set. And so it really helps you to hone in on what you love to do. And then at the end of the day, being on a team is fun. To be able to have a group of people that you're working together with and celebrating success with is a huge component of being on a team as well. So before we jump into all of that, I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands the difference between realtor, broker, brokerage, solo agent, team. What is the difference and how do they all work together? And I will reach out to Stephanie, our director of ops, who's amazing, to explain the difference between those.
All right, thanks, Kayla. So a realtor is a licensed real estate salesperson. So that's going to be anybody who did all the classes, passed the exam, and has an active license with TREC. And a realtor can be in any one of the three below terms. The broker is the person who's in charge of all the sales agents. You don't have to be like a boss in order to be a broker. There are certain parameters that you need to meet in order to qualify to be able to apply for a broker's license. In Texas, I don't know what those criteria are off the very top of my head, but it's something you can do, whether or not you want to run an office or not. The brokerage is the umbrella company that holds your license and is responsible for things like educating you or keeping you in compliance with real estate law, making sure that you're not just writing bogus contracts and doing unethical things. So for example, Keller Williams is a brokerage, Realty Austin, EXP, Coldwell Banker, all of those companies are brokerages. A solo agent is just what it sounds like. That is an agent who works on their own. They don't work under a team. They have to be a member of a brokerage. If a solo agent is a broker, then they can be independent. However, the solo agent, they might outsource some services to other companies, maybe marketing or transaction coordination. But in general, they don't work for anybody except themselves. A team is you can think of it as like a mini business inside of the brokerage. So Bernie Real Estate Group is a team underneath of the Keller Williams umbrella. And so what's nice about being a team underneath a brokerage is that we've got our core group of people, and we get to be in control of our culture and the people that we bring on. And then we also have access to all of the resources, education, all the people that Keller Williams provides and their different resources. So those are your definitions in a nutshell.
Awesome.
If there are any questions about those, I'm happy to answer them.
Yes, if you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat box and Stephanie will send them our way. And again, she did a really good job of explaining, but basically Keller Williams is the brokerage and broker over Bernie Real Estate Group, which is a team. Within KW, you can also be a solo agent on your own too. But just wanted to make sure that everybody understands because it can all get a little bit confusing. So one of the advantages of joining a team, like I mentioned earlier, is the leverage factor. First and foremost, the people. When you have a real estate transaction, there can be multiple people to do certain elements of that contract or the work. So it's basically who is going to do it. Our sales agents, they want to be meeting with people in person, showing properties, being on the go. And so with that being said, a lot of salespeople do not enjoy being tied down to paperwork or admin type of functions. And so being on a team enables you, like we shared before, to do what you enjoy. Stephanie is incredible at transaction coordination and managing data and facts and keeping us all in line. And then we have our agents, Leslie, Nathan, Ryan, Matthew, John, Julia, who are incredible at working one-on-one with clients. So again, it's just making sure you're on the right seat on the bus. Personal example, when I first joined Bernie Real Estate Group, I was not necessarily on the right seat on our bus, simply because I was doing transaction coordination, which was great at first for me to learn the foundation of real estate. However, our team pretty much, it was very evident that I'm a people person and that I get energy from interacting with others. So now I do people-oriented functions on our team, and Stephanie is more so focused. I'm on the transaction coordination and operations, and I'm licensed now and able to work more hand in hand with clients and our agents versus doing the spreadsheets and the contracts and things like that. So again, it just enables you to be on the right seat on the bus and do what you love. And the systems is how will you do it? As Ryan mentioned earlier, as a solo agent, he didn't really know where to start, what to do. Whenever you have a team, they have systems and structures and models and processes that you can follow, like a roadmap to your success, especially as a new agent. Having these tools in front of you is really beneficial. So most established teams have systems and structures in place for you to follow. And then with that being said, the tools, you have all of these at your fingertips. The CRM, lead generation tools, that as a solo agent, you have to provide for yourself. And you'd have to pay for those elements, whether it's Brivity. This is our team's CRM that we love, that houses all of our clients, our communications, just various elements of the transaction that we can all kind of go to as the home for all of our data. Mojo that you'll see up here, that is a lead generation tool that our agents can get on to find new clients to work with. And again, just the models that they have in place in terms of lead sourcing and things like that. Joining a team that's already established for you. Whereas when you're a solo agent, you'd be responsible for creating your own systems and paying for and establishing your own tools too. And in terms of the people portion, you'd be responsible for all elements of the transaction from start to finish, including getting the deal signed to the paperwork too. So again, it just gives you coverage on these various components. And then next is the training and support that you'll receive being on a team. With our team in particular, it's pretty structured for your first 30, 60, and 90 days. We're going to teach you how to do your own lead generation, having successful conversations with sellers versus investors versus buyers, helping you navigate these conversations are all very different. And so you'll have the team by your side to help you learn how to do that. Time blocking. As agents, you guys are out in the field, running around, constantly have elements coming at you throughout your day. And so knowing how to time block your calendar is vitally important to have a successful structured day. So we'll teach you how to manage your calendar and learn how to time block scripts and script practice. Again, going back to the lead generation component, it's really helpful to have at least a guideline of scripts to follow and to learn from and to internalize. Once you practice your scripts enough times, before you know it, you won't have to revert back to them. You have memorized the questions that are key to ask, again, sellers versus buyers versus investors. It's all really different. And so we'll help you with that. You'll be able to shadow our agents, whether that's doing consultations, in-person appointments, buyer tours, how to do open houses. All of those you'll be able to learn one-on-one with our agents. Again, that one-on-one training will also teach you how to write offers, write contracts, and get those accepted. With today's market, it's really challenging. And so you'll want to make sure that you're partnered with some professionals that can help you navigate the market and make sure your contracts are excellent and increase the likelihood of your offers being accepted. And last but not least, the negotiation portion of real estate. We have some really successful agents. Clay has been doing real estate in the Austin area for well over 20 years. So he's very well versed on the Austin area real estate in general. And as we all know, the contract, it's not over once you get that contract executed. There's a whole lot of elements that go into it with amendments and figuring out what needs to be done after a home inspection and adding that to the contract. So making sure you have some professionals on your side to help you navigate that will be really important. And then of course, you have the support system, just in general, people to turn to when you're not feeling like you're on your own and alone. On a team, you have this core group of professionals who truly care about your success, and you're all striving towards it together. I've been with the team for 2.5 to 3 years, and on a regular basis, if not a daily basis, questions come up that I don't know the answer to. And I'm able to ping Stephanie, hey, on the new contract, what should I select here? And she has an answer for me within 2 minutes. Hey, Leslie, how would you recommend handling this tough client in the situation I have right now? Being able to turn to people is such a huge blessing. And again, if you don't know how to do something, I guarantee you someone on our team does, or on the team that you decide to join, especially to speak to a bunch of these newer agents who are moving from various, whether it's different parts of the country, from new cities. Maybe you have to take a buyer to a new neighborhood in Austin that you know nothing about. And you're like, oh, what should I be focusing on? It's a quick call to one of your team members to say, hey, I have a client who's interested in Circle C Ranch. What should I be talking with them about? What's important? What are the highlights of that neighborhood? And they'll know all about it. So just being able to have someone to turn to is really important. And ultimately, that's going to boost your confidence at the end of the day. And you are able to turn around and have a successful conversation with your client based on the knowledge and support that you've received from your team. So that is that. And then accountability and encouragement. Our team in particular, and I would say KW as a whole, is very goal oriented, whether that's personal goals or collective goals. When you are on a team, it gives you the opportunity to work towards a goal with a group of people and achieve that as a unit and collectively is really rewarding. Again, we all as a team have our individual goals that we're working on. However, it ultimately leads to us being able to achieve those team goals at the end of the year. But in terms of accountability, we have one-on-one with our team leaders. So your supervisor, you'll have those one-on-one meetings each week. The 411 is an amazing goal tracking spreadsheet that will keep you in line and on track towards your goals, whether it's personally or professionally. Time blocking again, if you have a projects list, maybe you have a goal to reach out to your sphere of influence, will help you with whatever projects you have on your plate, and we'll put a plan in place for you, at least guidance to follow daily and weekly, and checking up with you to see how it's all going. And if it's not going okay, then we can help you redirect and maybe give some insight and encouragement to get back on track. Achieving goals as a team is even better versus individual goals. Yes, they're satisfying. However, you can go so much farther and faster together as a team. As a side note, I was in track in college at the collegiate level, and track is can be individualistic sport. You run your race and then that's it. However, so I would run these races and achieve success, but it really, like, my heart yearned for being able to win a championship as a team. Unfortunately, my team never was able to do that. But that was something that I always strived for and yearned for, because it's one thing to achieve something by yourself, but to celebrate success with a unit of people is so much deeper. So there is that. And then again, just having the encouragement and a team of people to cheer you on as you work towards your goals. Positivity is what you're surrounding yourself with. Integrity, honesty, people in your corner who are excited about you achieving your goals is really rewarding too. So, do we have any questions so far in the chat or any out there in webinar land?
None in the chat box yet.
Okay. I talk a lot. All right. So again, another advantage that everyone always loves to hear about is the leads. So when you join a team, you're going to have inbound leads provided to you on a platter for you to reach out to that buyer or seller. Again, with our team in particular, we'll want to make sure that you're through a certain level of your training, and there's the confidence factor there to see that client through to success. So once you get through your training, there will be inbound leads provided to you, lead management for those clients. Let's say you talk to an individual who says, yeah, I'm really looking forward to buying, but not until the end of the year in December. Okay, so you could either as a solo agent, maybe if you don't have the resources or a CRM, write that on a note and hopefully you remember to look at that at the end of the year. Or you have a CRM that you're able to enter that client's information into. You can put them on an auto plan like our team has that will automatically prompt you and give you a task to call that client as a reminder. That way you don't forget, because as you guys know, with real estate, you have a million things being thrown at you all the time. So again, that lead management system is really helpful. You'll have access to paid leads. It's earned through successful completion of reg training, and then outbound lead generation tools as well. Mojo is a tool that our team uses for outbound lead gen, and it's really an incredible tool. I think it's great just to get on there and create new relationships from scratch, and a lot of them with successful follow-up can lead to closed real estate transactions for you. So okay, this is the topic that everybody is always very curious about and loves to know. So with the team, you're going to pay a higher split than if you were a solo agent, simply because you're going to receive those inbound paid for leads and the systems and the support and the tools and the models and the transaction coordinator and all of these elements come into play. Common split may be 40-60. It may be 50-50. It really just depends on the team and what they have in place. Our team in particular, if you're curious about what that may look like, we can share that with you and potentially a phone appointment later down the line, but that is common for a team type of split. In terms of a solo agent, you are going to pay a lower split. You will receive more of that commission. However, typically it's a little bit less support. So if you join a super large brokerage and you're a solo agent, they may say, okay, wonderful. We hope you're very successful. Here's this training manual and we'll see you soon. And you may not have the one-on-one support that you have with a team. Not only that, because of the fact that you may not have as many inbound leads at your fingertips, you may not close as many transactions. Again, it entirely depends on your sphere of influence and where you're at as an individual. But if you're with a team who's closing more transactions, that split level is all going to balance out, and you're going to be very fruitful based on the leads that are coming in and the amount of transactions you're closing versus being a solo agent. You may have a higher split. However, how many transactions is that going to be? Is that going to be 3 a year? If so, you probably end up closing a whole lot more with the team at a lower split. To the eye, it kind of is not as attractive. However, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, that the whole split portion is not going to matter as much if you're closing way more transactions with the team. And again, another component is on a team, you have a transaction coordinator who you get that deal signed and you are off and running to work with your next client. And it gives you more time and efficiency to be able to work with more people at one time versus being a solo agent. You're going to be tied down to some of that paperwork. And believe it or not, the paperwork portion, sometimes the littlest things take the most amount of time. So there's that. And if you guys have any questions about the commission splits, please feel free to ask. We're happy to give any more insight.
Kayla, we do have a split question in the chat box real quick.
Great.
On a team, is it common to see a split vary based on how long the agent has been with the team? The solo agent split looks very promising, but joining a team has so many benefits, which seem like it would be worth sacrificing that 10%.
Right. I definitely would agree that it ends up all balancing out. It does look attractive to the eye when you first look at it. However, again, if you're closing more deals, it's not going to matter. And what was the first portion of her question, Stephanie? I forgot.
Is it common to see a split vary based on how long the agent has been with the team? And a similar question that just came in that I think will have the same answer is, can a split change over time?
I would say the answer to that is yes. Again, every team is different. They may have brand new agents on a specific commission structure because they're going through training, and they need more support and time poured into them in order to close that deal successfully. It really just depends on the team. But if you guys are curious about what our team has going on, I'd love to chat with you guys further, potentially in a phone appointment. And I'll reach out to you guys after the call. And then Leslie, do you have anything to add on the commission portion of aspect of this?
I can just tell you that I think that the 78/30 is appealing, right? Whenever you look at it, it was very appealing to me my first 2 years, and closing a whole lot of 8 transactions, which is something that I've been able to do in a month with a team. Like, that's the comparison, right? And on top of that, getting that support, not just obviously, like the transaction support, with lenders and title and all of that kind of stuff, yes, but the emotional support, the encouragement of coming in the morning and like having notes, like, you can do this, you're okay, like, all of that kind of stuff. It's not comparable to me at all. So I get it. I get looking at the numbers, but it just does not compute the way that you think that it's going to, right? Until you're in it. When you're in it and you're doing it every day, and you start to realize the amount of transactions that you actually can accomplish with that added support, the numbers don't make sense, right? Like it just does not add up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the commission question, it's always, a high topic of discussion. However, like as Leslie said, if you can just look at the big picture, how many transactions are you really going to close in a year entirely on your own versus with a team, and everything that goes into a team, not only all the systems and support, but as we said, just having people in your corner to say, hey, you got this, it's okay, it's going to work out. Just having people to surround yourself with is really important. So are there any other questions in the chat?
There is one question, actually a couple of questions that just popped in. For our team specifically, is it mostly work from home or in office? What percentage would you say on average?
That's a great question. In real estate in general, I feel like there's a lot of flexibility in that way. If you wanted to do some sort of lead generation, again, this is whenever you're off and running completely through training. When you're in training, you're going to want to have that office time, that face time with our agents, that one-on-one support, and being in the office is going to be vital for your success through your training. However, again, once you're off and running, if you need to do 2 hours of lead gen from home because you have a showing in Round Rock and your house is closer over there and it makes more sense, that's perfectly fine. That's what I would say. It's a blend of both, especially for our agents. It's a blend of office / lead gen and being out in the field, showing properties, meeting with clients. So whether you choose to do that, again, once you're through training, whether you choose to do that in the office or at home or wherever you may be, sometimes you might have to do lead gen from a Starbucks because you're in between 2 showings, and you need to work remotely and pull up your laptop and do what you can between 2 appointments. So it really just depends, and our team definitely has flexibility. However, we want to make sure from the get-go at a foundational level that you're set up for success and you understand all of the elements and systems and support that we have in place for you in terms of real estate before we say, hey, go ahead and take off and work from wherever you need to. We'd want to make sure you have that confidence and success factor through training.
We like being in the office too.
Yeah.
We like being here together. So it is pretty important to us to see each other every day.
Yeah, I can say something about this too. Like I came from the entertainment world for the last 20 years. I didn't have like an office job whatsoever. As a solo agent, I was meeting with my brokerage on Zoom calls and stuff like that, and kind of getting these touch points about how they, suggested I perform activities that would generate, opportunity. And like I said at the beginning, I felt kind of lost. Well, coming into this team, I found great comfort in actually my very first day I came in, and Nathan had been here for right at 3 months. And he started talking to me about like where he is now. And so it kind of gave me a perspective on, oh, in 3 months, I could be closing 4 deals in a month. And not only that, but also like picking up the phone and pulling in new leads and just staying busy and watching the rhythm at which the team works and where I'm like headed, and having people like Leslie lay out a really solid game plan and hold me accountable to the goals that I'm setting. It just gives me the confidence that I can get to where I need to be. And it feels so much more secure than it did while I was trying to create systems and motivate myself to get out there and do this and that. And the last thing I'll say is there's a lot of discomfort, especially like in, changing of careers or putting yourself out there and learning how to talk to strangers and all this stuff. Well, being able to be in an environment, especially during the training period, where I can talk to Nathan, who's, 3 months ahead of me, or Matthew, who just started 3 weeks before me, and see how he's doing it. And it just gives me a very solid foundation to feel confident that like, it's okay where I'm at. Just keep pushing on it, keep doing it. It's going to get easier. You're going to get better at it, and you're going to get there too.
Yep.
Awesome. Love that. Are there any more questions, Stephanie?
We do. We have some questions about full-time versus part-time, and then like the first 90 days. We can either do those now or we can do them at the end. Up to you.
I guess we can wait for those for the Q&A session. That way we can kind of roll through these a little bit. So just hang tight to those questions. We're almost getting closer to being done. Again, an advantage of joining a team is having the ability to be successful through others. A team empowers you to become a better agent so you can make money and achieve greater levels of success. Just to kind of put it in perspective, about 87% of all new agents fail after 5 years in the industry, and only 13% make it. Agents don't leave the industry because they made too much money. They leave the industry because they didn't make any or not enough. A major reason why real estate agents fail is because they are not willing to put in the work. If you want to be successful, be prepared to work long and odd hours. As you all may already know, real estate is definitely not Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Your weekends are going to be pretty busy with meeting with clients, doing open houses. Again, though, our team, we want to make sure that our agents are not working themselves to an oblivion, and there's a balance there to make sure they're taking time to rest, spend time with their family. If they work a full weekend, we want to know, hey, are you going to rest on Tuesday or Thursday? Because we can't have you burning out. So yes, real estate can be demanding. However, it's very rewarding and fruitful, both financially as well as the personal element too, of being able to guide a family to a new home and starting a new chapter of life. But ultimately, having this team and the structures and everything in place behind you will just accelerate your ability to be successful in the real estate industry, which, as you all may know too, is the market's pretty tough right now. So having that support is really vital. And again, you get to do what you love when you're on a team. If you love sales and you love talking to people, you love meeting with people, and you get antsy sitting in a chair for 8 hours straight, that allows you to pursue the sales component of the real estate business. And then you have your other team members who will take care of all of your paperwork for you. There's so many elements that have to be managed in a real estate transaction. Title, back and forth with title companies constantly, back and forth with sometimes potentially real estate lawyers, home warranty companies, home inspectors, appraisers, so many people that come into play that it allows you to focus on your sales. Salespeople get energy from working with other people, talking to other people, meeting with other people. If you sit them in front of a computer and make them work on a paperwork all day, they're going to get drained and they're not going to enjoy it. So it really just gives you the ability to be out in the field doing what you love. You close a deal and you pass it off, versus being a solo agent, you have to manage the entirety of the transaction from start to finish. You meet the client, you follow up with the client, you get appointments, you go see properties, you submit an offer, potentially you have to go back and view more properties and submit another offer, and hopefully it gets accepted, and then you have to manage the contract, all the elements of it until the very end. It's a lot. And so being on a team enables you to be able to pass the baton off to another team member to take care of that portion for you. However, on the same token, if your personality loves organizing data and working with spreadsheets and you enjoy contract management, real estate, there's an avenue for every personality type and every individual. So that's another really wonderful element of real estate. And being on a team allows real estate agents to be out in the field, meeting with clients, closing deals, instead of being tied down with administrative work and transaction coordination. There's a designated team member who manages all of that. So essentially that's kind of what I went over. But there's some people who really truly enjoy being in charge and having the control from start to finish. And that's really important to them. A solo agent route may be a perfect fit. However, if you feel comfortable and confident passing the baton off to a very intelligent team member who's excellent at that portion of the transaction management, like Stephanie and other members of our team, being on a team would work really well for you versus having to do it all. It can be very overwhelming. And last but not least, it's fun. You get to go on this journey with a group of people to celebrate. Not only are we going to be extremely excited about your individual success, but then we get to celebrate success as a team too, which is really fun. We had a really great Q1. I believe we closed a little bit under 50 transactions, around 22 million, and Clay just took us all to Topgolf to have fun and enjoy each other's company and bond as a team and celebrate that success. Set aside real estate for a little bit to enjoy each other's company as a team. So that's a wonderful element of being on a team. And if you're struggling, whether it's professionally or personally, your team is going to care and be very involved in wanting to be there for you. How can we help you? How can we get you through this? Whether it's a tough client or a tough situation that you may be going through with your family. We're also kind of like a mini family within our working environment. So we just want to make sure that everybody is well and taken care of. And again, real estate can be very demanding. It's very rewarding, and sometimes especially agents can get addicted to that on the go 24/7 hustle, hustle, hustle. But at the same time, that's wonderful and great work ethic, but you need to take a step back and take a break to get rest. Otherwise, you'll get burnt out. So you have that support system to make sure that everything is still in balance for you with your family and getting rest. And then ultimately, it's just fun to go through your real estate journey with a successful team, and you're all aiming towards the same big goals. And we have a big goal to grow as a team to about at least 18 agents by the end of the year. And then we have a big goal of closing a minimum of 155 transactions as a team. Like, having that to aim towards is really exciting, and celebrating that success with your team at the end of the year is super rewarding versus just going it alone. You'll create great memories and just have an incredible experience. I've established some really strong relationships on the team, whether it's with Leslie or Stephanie or Clay, and I'm super blessed by all the new team members that we have that I'm going to build relationships with as well. But that is going to stay with you, and it just adds to your career and the joy that comes along with it. And now finally, y'all won't hear from me for a little bit, just to share from Leslie as well as Nathan what y'all's insight is on a day in the life of an agent on our team. Either one of y'all. I know y'all are on the same Zoom.
Why don't you go first?
Okay.
I'm gonna
Let me
do math.
scoot on closer. So a day in the life is actually one of the categories that I post on my social media once a week. So something that I think about a lot, right? What's the day-to-day, how to better structure that? Because like Kayla was saying, like, you get so addicted to the hustle, and it's like, you can be so busy if you want to be busy, if you want to make yourself busy. And that's something that I love about being part of this team, is that the opportunity to like have something to do. There's always some way to interject, or some way to help or support another member, or there's always someone else who's going to need your help, or there's so many things that we can do and accomplish together. So my day to day, heavily focused still. I'm just out of my training. I just finished that. And so now I'm just very much focused on keeping that ball rolling, getting in hours of lead gen that's dedicated and focused on that, and not getting distracted by other priorities, because that's where you get the best quality, and your time is best spent and more efficient. Then how, focusing on rolling that into like actionable clients that I can start servicing. And then the rest of my day is very much focused on just actually helping my clients out, researching different neighborhoods, different house options, rental options, doing comparables in the market, sending out emails to them, calling up other listing agents to get questions answered, calling up like the tax office to ask specific details about a property, calling up management companies to see what their rates would be for my clients, doing all of that other work where I can just go above and beyond to serve my current clients. So Kayla, you were talking about this earlier, time blocking, scheduling, all that stuff. That really, like, my day to day, like, it is really supported by that foundation. Like the calendar, time blocking, learning how to best use that is everything. I came in late on this Zoom call because I was showing a client some properties a little further south downtown. While I was waiting for him to get to the house, I was on the phone in my car doing an appointment with another lead. Before that, I left the office late because I had a call in from one of our lead gen sources, our inbound sources, and I booked an appointment with that person for this weekend to talk. So I mean, it's just like a constant talk about balls in the air. I mean, it's more than 3 balls at once, but I love that. And I love having that rhythm. And I know that if I didn't have the team to support me in that, and I was still solo, I would never be able to handle that. I would never work at that volume. And I wouldn't be able to handle my clients with as much care and attention as I can now, because
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about so many of the little things.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important part too. To me, it's important that my clients feel like I'm 100% on their side and serving them. You know, I don't want them to feel like I'm being pulled all over the place. And I can do that because I have support from Kayla, from Stephanie, from Leslie, and from everybody else. Does anybody have any questions about that? What it looks like, what my day-to-day looks like? Don't see any hands raising.
That was excellent.
Reginald, you had something?
Nothing in particular. I wanted to mainly ask you, are you an early riser? Are you, do you get going early, or, do you wake up and lift first, or, is there a certain thing that you like to do throughout
Are
your
you
day?
lifting, Nathan?
No.
Are you lifting?
No to all of that and yes to all of that. Man, I'm such a night owl, and it's horrible, and it's been haunting me my whole life. And I'm sure that if you're asking that question, it's probably because you are too. And part
Somewhat.
of me getting into this position and switching careers, I want to embrace it, and I want to really focus on optimizing my day, getting the most out of it as I can. And I've now learned that me particularly, getting up early and hitting the gym before I start my day is the best thing for me. It gets me pumped up, and then I can focus, and like I can hop on the phone and cold call for 2 hours from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. without a problem, versus, staying up late, waking up groggy, like kind of rolling out of bed and getting here. Then it takes another hour for you to just actually like wake up and get your mouth moving. Next thing you know, it's like already 12 and you haven't accomplished anything with your work day. So, I mean, from that front, yeah, I'm at the gym every day at 6 a.m. Out around 7. I shower and then I come into work. I'm usually the first one here. And
I'm here.
yeah, Leslie's also here early too, but in your defense, you're like dealing with people and like on the phones and all that stuff
early.
If you're not here, it's because you're doing something else. But yeah, and I've offered this with some of our other team members, and Clay's also been like waking up early and working out, and Leslie's now been working out and crushing it in the mornings too. And so we help each other stay motivated on those personal things too, right?
Matthew.
Like, yeah.
Right, Matthew?
We'll call you out. Matthew's been getting into it.
Yes.
That's it. Yes.
But yeah, I hope that helps clarify your question, Reginald.
Yes, thanks.
Awesome. Anybody else? No one at the moment. Cool. Leslie, I'm
probably during
so my days look pretty similar to his now. Outside of like doing training and more meetings in the office and stuff now. But you have to get up early, you have to have personal time. You have to take care of your body, take care of yourself, be healthy, in order to give these people 100%, right? That's what we want as a team, and that's what we're trying to breed as a culture, is that we are giving world-class customer service 24/7, right? We want these clients to feel like they are our main priority. And we have the system and the systems and the people in place to ensure that can happen every single time. And so the day, I mean, I don't want to drag y'all through that all over again. But it works exactly the same. People are calling you at 7 o'clock in the morning. And so you're on the phone on your way to work. And then we all get to gather up and meet for a few minutes. And we almost have like a 15-minute church service of just like, everything's amazing, life is great. And like I love yous and thank you and all this kind of business. And then we're off and doing whatever it is, whatever area of this training process that you're in or career process that you're in. You're hitting it and you work it all day long. I think probably the only thing that is different is that I try to get home at some sort of a reasonable hour, and I'd have like an hour at home with my family where I just like love on them hardcore. And then once they all start going to bed, I kind of get back at it for a little while and just try to round out my day and stuff that way. So that's probably the only thing that is different.
Yeah.
But
I don't have kids yet, so I don't need to. I don't need to stop.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. And then I guess from our team, that we have in place, whether it's Ryan or Matthew or Julia or Bailey, what are some of your examples and the benefits of being on a team? What have you experienced with Bernie Real Estate Group? Have you guys been a solo agent before? What challenges did you face to any of you guys? Or even in on the call, if you guys have previously been a solo agent and you're experiencing some roadblocks or difficulties and needing that support, like what has your experience been like?
I just have one quick thing. I just really liked working at Bernie Real Estate, and also in my role, I get to see a lot of the behind the scenes that Kayla, Leslie, and Stephanie and Clay do for like the other agents on the team. And it's just really like exciting to see how much they care for other people's success and how much planning goes into things like this and other things for the team. And it's just like, it's amazing to have leadership like that really cares about the success of the team. So that's just something that I wanted everyone to know.
Sweet.
I'll say something. So I am a newer member of the team. Whenever I was looking at getting into real estate, I knew I didn't want to be a solo agent. I knew that a team was for me, but I was just a matter of picking which one. I knew I wanted a team that was really focused on training and that could, really kind of grind me down into the agent that I needed to be, the agent that I want to be. And I feel like I really did find it. I feel like I've never had a group of people have, it's a system, but it's a group of people who, one, care about my goals, help me set, I guess, kind of incremental ways to get there, and then follow up with me. One of my goals was to get up at 4:30 in the morning, like Nathan and Leslie said, just getting up early, and people being like, hey, did you get up 4:30 in the morning? You're meeting your goals. And it really helps. And I don't feel like a lot of teams would be as supportive as the Bernie Real Estate team is.
I need to interject real quick. Lisa, I saw an adorable puppy pop up. So please give us that pup's name. It's very important.
That is my beautiful pit bull. Her name is Buffy.
Buffy.
My husband's from upstate New York originally, and so we are Buffalo Bills fans, which up until this year has been very difficult. But that's all changing. They're going to win the Super Bowl next year.
It's because
but anyway, that's Buffy, and she's a COVID puppy, and so she has been used to a lot of attention. And when I close the door, she's not the biggest fan of that. So thanks for letting me introduce her.
We're definitely dog lovers on our team.
Yeah.
We know each other's pets' names, how they're doing, their well-being. We enjoy seeing them on Zoom sometimes. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I could just
now she's being shy. I don't know where she is.
I spoke a little bit earlier about my experience on the team, and for the guys that are tuning in today, are any of you like actively practicing solo agents or in a brokerage that's like big in your are you guys all new people? Well,
I'll start.
Yeah.
I'm a talker. I want to be that salesperson. I do not want to be the TC. But I came from American Express. I worked for American Express for 18 years in business development and strategic partnerships and merchant acquisition. And I know that all those acronyms are very much like the alphabet soup that are common in real estate. So it just means that I sold credit card services with a premium brand. So everything that I did, any partnerships were with American Express, which is a more affluent card member, but also a more expensive card for the merchants to accept. And in September of this past year, I'm from San Diego, California, and our school systems were closed for COVID, as here. It's not unique to California, but our political system was a lot more stringent in that the school was going to be closed for the entire year this year as well. And I have an only child, and it really wasn't going to work for us. So long story short, I had a Western region territory, but my husband was a national salesperson. So we moved to Texas so that my son could come to school, and we ended up in Austin, and it's been awesome. And so in January, we have investments, rental properties and things like that. And so I bought and sold a lot of property, and it's really my passion. So long story short, I just got licensed the day before yesterday.
Awesome.
And so this is the first, this is really the first meeting that I have had to this extent in investigating where I want to end up. And I really here's something that as an outsider that I really understand and appreciate, is that Austin is a network, and it's not a good old boy in the bad sense. It's a very community-based city or county, Travis County, or even as far as Spicewood and Kingsland and that whole area. It's very connected. I seem to meet the same people that know people from the schools, and so I don't have a network. I am from California, which could be a detriment to a lot of people that don't want Californians coming in, or I can turn it around and be very humble and say, I really need the help of these experts that are here in Texas. And then I can bring the knowledge base on how to sell and service these people that are coming from California, and hope that it's a win-win for the team that I join.
Yeah, make your weakness your strength.
Yeah.
Right? Like just double down on that. That's awesome. Well, welcome to Austin.
Thank you.
Great place to be.
It's an awesome place. It's so beautiful.
The last thing I'll close with is something that Clay said whenever I was in your position and Clay Burney was on the Zoom with us. He said, you know, as some of the numbers on the presentation showed, it's very competitive. This is a very competitive experience. It's not easy. There is a lot of potential, you know, money to be made and opportunity to grasp, but I mean, it is competitive and hard, and it's really important to surround yourself with people who are in it to win it. And for me, you know, jumping into a team situation where I was being held accountable for my goals, and the structure and just organizing my life, like give me a set of rules to function in, and I'll, you know, do my best to knock it out of the park. It's just really been so beneficial to me. And my success is I feel so much more supported in my trajectory compared to when I was a solo fish, just swimming. So.
Thank you for sharing that.
Cool.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. Okay, so just kind of rounding it out, being on a team, no one is good at everything, at every single thing. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, and on a team, you can play to each other's strengths and while I may not be the best Excel spreadsheet organizer, someone on the team is. Maybe another individual gets nervous and doesn't want to be having meetings with clients all the time. Then they can pass the baton to a salesperson. So it just, being on a team enables you, again, to just do what you love and focus on your strengths and utilize the strengths of your team members as well. And it's a win-win for both parties. Every team member is enabled to be empowered to do what they enjoy. And now, if there are any additional questions that have been hanging out in the chat box, or if you guys would like to add anything, please feel free. And this is the Q&A session. And again, if any of you guys would like to set up a phone appointment with me to kind of learn a little bit more about our team, if you have questions about the team versus solo agent route, I'd be happy to speak with you guys. So just send me a quick email and I'd be happy to connect.
Kayla, right before we jump into Q&A, Miriam is with us. Do we want to give her a couple of minutes to tell us about her services?
Yes, Miriam, take it away.
I don't need minutes today. Has it really, I know it's only been like a few weeks since I like popped into the office, but have I counted 4 new agents? Like, have y'all grown by 4 since then?
I would say so.
Bailey, Julia, Ryan, and then I saw one on social media today, but I don't see him.
Matthew,
that guy.
Yeah, we're growing.
Seriously?
It's exciting.
Okay, I can't wait to come in and meet all of you. So I'm with Home Warranty of America. And when we talk, y'all talk about like teams and working efficiently together. I work like really closely with Stephanie. So she is so on top of like her processes. And I appreciate that because I know that when y'all are buying and selling, and even when your buyers choose to pay for the warranty and make sure they're covered, which is so important right now, y'all. It is hot, hot, hot. And ACs are going out like this right now. And I'm here for that. So I like to make sure that your clients always have my information. And I take those calls all day long. So I like to make sure that you know who I am, your clients know who I am. And, you know, just when there's something happens, I step in and try to see it through and make sure that everything is as flawless as it can be for their experience. Because nobody likes when something breaks, but I'm here to make sure that we're saving them money on their investment, especially in this market, because a lot of people are over-investing. So I like to do my part in that and see that it's as peaceful of an experience as possible, and that they get the most out of that experience. So congratulations, Nathan, for finishing your training. I know you, like, guys, if y'all have ever heard this guy like on the phone, I've walked in and heard him a few times. He is like hyper focused. So I know he's put in a lot of effort. So congratulations, guys, on your success.
Thanks, Miriam.
Yeah, of course. Look forward to meeting all the rest of the new team.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going into the chat box. Kayla, are our team members full-time or do we have part-time members?
We currently don't have any part-time members. Real estate is a whole lot of hustle and not a whole lot of part-time. However, if that is something that you're interested in, our team would be happy to chat with you about what you have in mind. So, and your specific situation needs. So if you could set up a phone appointment with me, we can chat further about that.
And for the first 30 days, would you say that our team members are working from the office 5 days a week? And is the office open on weekends?
Great question. Leslie, I'll chime you in for that one.
Yeah, yes, so 5 days a week. Probably more like 6.5. And yes, the office is open on the weekends. You may be the only person here because everybody else is out doing the stuff. So, but yeah, definitely.
And after passing your 90-day training is that's when leads are provided, correct? And until then, are we working with clients, or can you explain what startup is like?
I
So-
think, oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'll let you speak to that one, Leslie.
So we visit the lead situations several times throughout the process to see where you are at in because of the training process, right? And everybody kind of goes at a different pace. And so, like Ryan was talking about, there's very, very high accountability throughout the process. And so we want to make sure that you truly are in a space. Some leads are just handed out from our database. And then there are higher quality leads that we need to actually make sure that you're ready to take on before we can hand those over. So I wouldn't necessarily put a date on that, right? It's not going to have, like, maybe not right at 30 days or 90 days, but it's going to be more of an open conversation and dialogue that we have about where we need to be.
Mm-hmm. I can attest to that. I mean, I had some very high quality leads come in fairly early on, and then some not so high quality, some that needed some more work. But I've always felt like I'm putting in a lot of effort, but there's been return. Like there's been like,
Sure.
I know what I'm working for, right? And I definitely felt supported in that way.
Awesome, thank you. What is the difference between starting in the coaching club, like at the Market Center, versus on a team? I understand that you do have that mentor to get you through your first transactions with the coaching club.
I'm personally not too familiar with the coaching club and what all is involved in that. If I'm being completely honest, anybody on the team, do you guys have insight to that question?
I can speak to that a little bit.
Okay.
Because I started off solo at this Keller Williams office for a little bit before I joined this team. And so I was starting off in that whole training courses and the classes and all that stuff. And it was great. Like they do have a lot of content and support there. And that's why I chose Keller Williams to begin with. However, the pace is maybe a little bit different. The classes, they're fairly long and there's other people in them, and there's just like a lot of onboarding stuff, and it makes sense because there's a lot to learn and to take in before you can actually have a clue of what you're actually doing as a real estate agent. So there's a lot there, but the pace, in my opinion, the pace is very different, and like that's why I also like joining the team, because I saw the opportunity to learn all of the same details at a much faster pace.
Awesome, thank you. Is marketing information provided after 90 days?
What type of marketing information? We have a marketing manager who takes care of all of our marketing. So I guess it just depends on what exactly they're interested in receiving, what that means. I don't know.
You don't need to do any marketing, if that's the question. No marketing on your part is necessary whatsoever.
I guess I was getting towards like yard signs and business cards and things like that.
Oh, okay.
We'll give you those.
Yes,
that's
our team
perfect
has
being part of the team.
we usually start ordering business cards around 60 days on the team. And then in terms of signs, lock boxes, open house signs, all of those things, Nathan's got them right over there. Our team provides those, and you have access to all of those materials on day one. They're shared, so they're available day one for everybody to start using right away. And
Thank
next
you.
question, do we do other real estate besides residential?
Yes.
Yes. All of it. Commercial, residential,
Please.
leases. We've had ranch listings before. There's no designated one specific area of real estate that we do, and there's no specific area of Austin either. We service the entire area, north, which Leander, Cedar Park, Round Rock, south, Utica, go into Dripping Spring,
Antonio.
Horseshoe Bay, Marble Falls, and like Bastrop, all over the place.
Yeah.
So
I drove to Johnson City once. That was fun.
Johnson City,
I've done showings in Liberty Hill and down in Bernie.
there you go. So
In the same day.
it all over the place, in all kinds, in all shapes and sizes.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so with different types of real estate, I'm actually working with a land client right now, and I've only been in a realtor for a month and a half. And if I wasn't on the team, then that's something I would have had to turn down. But all the support is there, and knowledge is there for me to be able to help that person out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the goal is 18 agents. How many do we have currently?
I think we have a team of 10. Oh, 7.
So we have 7 agents.
11 total, 7 agents.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, when I was in your shoes and I was on the webinar, that was one of my questions too, because I was like, am I just going to be one little runt in a team of 60 people? And I have to say it's quite the opposite. Like from day one, you start to integrate, and you're working hand in hand with like 4 or 5 people, and it just feels like, you know, I had a lot of moments, and I still do, of like not knowing if or feeling lost or you know, out of my comfort zone, and just having this like close network of people that I'm learning to really lean on more has been a great, you know, support.
Awesome, thank you. So those are all of the questions in the chat box for right now. If anybody has other questions, you can drop them in the chat box or unmute yourself.
Anybody have any questions? Anything to add? Okay, that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really, really appreciate it. And we hope this was helpful for you in some way, somehow, as you're trying to navigate what's the best fit for you. And if you have any additional questions, we are here for you as a resource and would love to chat with you further about your goals and the opportunity to join our team. So you guys have a great evening. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for all the time.
Aw, our pleasure. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.